It's Monday and the Ladbrokes Social Club is officially open. I knew it was going to happen eventually, that round of applause we got there. In the end, it's international break, but still loads to get through. We're talking Scotland, the return of the Ladbrokes SPFL. We've got a refresh of fantasy football for you. Looking forward to that, Michael. Michael Stewart's on the show, as you can see, and plenty more. A couple of FaceTime callers to come as well. We've got a manager in the house, Mark Wilson, here as well.
Hey!
How are you?
Cheer that is.
Breaking upturning fortunes already, eh?
Yep.
4 points last 2 games.
Yep, brilliant. Unbeaten in the last 2, Darrell. That's what I'm sticking to. A run of 2 unbeaten.
I love that. Daniel Caw here as well. This is remarkable. I know last week we talked about your eyes struggling to see, but the iPad has got smaller.
Your eyes? You're pointing at his belly when you say eyes.
We're talking about your eyes. I'm pointing at the iPad, mate.
There's a few areas that could be brushed up a bit, let's be honest. But the eyes, either criticised my eyesight last week, and their answer is get me a tiny iPad. But makes me look up, get big giant hands, which is.
But I did notice in the Ladbrokes Facebook page last week there was an optician that got in touch.
There was, Darrell, there wasn't an optician.
This could be sorted.
He's promised me a free eye test, so we'll maybe revisit that in a later edition.
All good things happen with this show.
Aye, you could put it that way, aye.
You could put it that way. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to talk Scotland to start with. I'm not going to get you bogged down in it, because let's be honest, I mean, the San Marino result was good, but the Russia result was a shocker, Michael.
I thought you were going to make some really cheap pun about the park there, being bogged down. Thankfully you didn't.
Might have come back to that, but anyway, on you go. You lead us off here.
That was disappointing, there's no doubt. Obviously the Russia game, the result, and the San Marino game, it's, to a certain extent, it's a hiding to nothing with the expectation that you're going to, gub them. But I honestly think that it's the first baby steps in trying to build towards the playoffs in March. 6-0. I don't think you could have, asked for any better. It seemed as if the cut-off point was 4. Anything below 4 wouldn't have been acceptable, and above 4 was like, all right, that's okay. So 6-0, I think, and considering that the conditions in the second half, to come out 3-0 at half time and keep the tempo and the intensity in the game, I think there's definitely something to build upon there without getting too carried away.
Baby steps, did you see that, or is it hard to take anything from winning 6-0 against the world's worst team officially?
Aye, listen, I think when we're Scotland in the situation we're in, we've got to take any positives.
Every crumb.
Exactly. I mean, see, when you look at some of the goals as well, they're pretty good. I mean, Stuart Armstrong's free kick. Yeah. You could have anybody in goals there, but you still got to get it up and over the wall and on target. John McGinn, the way he played, and debuts for certain other people, it looked decent, but I mean, it's not papering over the cracks of what happened in Russia. The sad thing about that is, I was asked, half hour before kick-off, what I thought the score would be in Russia, and you're looking for an optimistic, output. I said 3-0 Russia, so I was pretty close. That was me being optimistic, but that's the state we're in, and I'm a bit of a realist with Scotland. I take us for where we are. A lot of people keep saying, oh, we're terrible and we're never reaching tournaments, but I mean, what right do we have? 20 odd years, this is the position we're in. So
we think we've got some good players, though.
Well, we have got good players. We have got good players, but
the problem is that we've got very good players, but it's slightly imbalanced at the moment. There are a lot in the midfield, a couple of world-class left-backs, but we're struggling, in certain areas. I think we've got players to play centre-half, but there have been injuries, never been able to get a partnership together, and obviously the big question for us is who to play up top at number 9. And I think Lon Shanklin didn't do himself any harm last night. Yeah,
plaudits for him, but look, loads of plaudits for John McGinn as well.
One of the good players that Mark mentioned, Super John McGinn, I think is his official title, Darrell.
Yeah, sorry.
He's, as you said, Mark, you can't really take it for granted. So a hat-trick last night, albeit against San Marino, his first career hat-trick as well, not just international.
But wait a minute here, because Kunster's gone from 50 to 70 million off the back of a hat-trick against San Marino. I'm not sure about that.
There was a couple of kind of tweets that were maybe getting a wee bit too excited considering it's San Marino. But the one here from Anaf, confused as to why some Man United fans are hyping John McGinn up and justifying his price tag after his hat-trick against San Marino, but ridiculed Romeo Lukaku for scoring a brace against San Marino. So I think it's a good point, You can't take it for granted.
Yep, standards.
His stock is definitely on the rise, so I mean, we all knew what a good player he was, but going down to England and doing it in the top league and scoring goals
consistently as well.
Consistently, It's amazing how your price tag just shoots up when you do well there. But I mean, I know it's against San Marino, but a hat trick at international level for a midfielder, it's got to count for something.
It does.
It's another step in the the progress that John McGinn's made.
Yeah, great for him, of course.
And Willow's spot on.
Yeah, and he got some award for
Got his man in the match. And
glass of water, was it?
Yeah.
It does look slightly odd.
Optical illusion there.
Othello, obviously Scotland captain Andy Robertson wishing him well. The one thing, obviously, the weather, Darrell, obviously we'll talk about. A couple of pictures here. But I was thinking during the game, see when it looked like it might go off, see if you're John McGinn, you've got a hat-trick, you'll think to yourself, this can't go off.
I was thinking the same thing. I was also wondering why this couldn't have happened when we were playing a better team. It would have been a bit of a level.
Good call.
I mean, San
Good
Marino at
call.
home and it rains like this.
The one I feel sorry for, I think somebody tweeted it the day as well, the wee ball boys.
Yeah.
What a
Oh,
shift.
that
They're
was
sitting there in the pouring rain, getting soaked, and a great experience for them being there, but probably would have preferred a wee bit nicer weather.
Had their Disney World giggles.
Aye, the old ponchos.
They
Aye.
stuck it out though. So did some of the fans. And I say some.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, one here about my favourite sort of tweet about the weather was Chairman LMAO. If anyone, I know that got me as well. If anyone is looking for a stream to the Scotland San Marino game, it seems to be running through the Hampden pitch. But of course, the fans as well. Talking about ticket prices. Was a big talking point on social media. Jordan Campbell of The Athletic. Just 20,699 fans turned up at Hampden. See, Scotland beat San Marino. Well, 10,000 tickets were given away to local community. That's what hopelessness and apathy does.
Why, guys, why do we not give away more then? Surely 5 o'clock on a Sunday, I know the weather was awful, but you don't know that in advance. And school kids can get to a 5 o'clock game on a Sunday.
It's ridiculous. I mean, and I made the point as well, if you're one of the 10,000 who's actually paid for your ticket and you've got somebody sitting they're getting it for free. It's a joke, but
well, that is a good point. That would frustrate you.
But also, I think that's one of the main reasons why, when you say why do we not give more away, I think that's one of the concerns for the SFA is that if you give so many tickets away, then you get the guys, the folk that have turned up paying 27 quid.
If there's huge sections of school kids, Michael,
I totally agree.
and we get 40,000
I totally agree with you. But what if you're the guy that's paid 27 quid?
But
that's
why
why
20
it's
kids
so
next to me?
ridiculous. If you're paying for your ticket, but you're only paying a £5 or a tenner, then you don't really mind if the school kids getting them for that. If you're 27 quid and this freebie's going a bit, well...
This has gone on for so long with Scotland, with regards to where to play the games and what's the ticket pricing. And, I don't know across the board what it is that they're charging for other games, but this one in isolation, 27 quid for San Marino, it just seems as if it's a little bit ridiculous.
What do you think? What's your gauge from the last few weeks and months? What are fans saying online? Do they want to go to different venues, take it around the country?
I think we spoke about it just before we started recording, but I think somewhere like Easter Road or Tynecastle, 20,000 in there, they looked a lot better.
Tynecastle's the one that keeps coming up. I think everybody kind of across the board agrees with that. A tight pitch where you have 20,000 that packs the place out, and it's hard for opposition, good teams to come. Tynecastle's
really good stadiums. It's not like they're. And I think on social media, Darrell Jock here on Twitter sums it up. No way the SFA have tried to charge £27 to watch an already eliminated Scotland. That's the key against San Marino. I mean, that's I think a bit of common sense.
The problem is they'll have obviously put their price structure in place before elimination happens. That's why try to balance it out with them. They'll have made that plan before the qualifiers to what they're charging for the games.
They expected us to have a chance.
No, but in all seriousness, looking ahead, you've got to say they're going to, or they've taken control of Hampden. They buy it outright. That's the problem. You're going to get stuck with these games at Hampden because they want to use it all the time. And the reality for me would be the better situation would be to go around the country to use the other stadiums, which are good quality stadiums as well.
Okay, let's push on. A few other players from the Premiership involved in their matches for their own countries and getting a lot of praise.
Absolutely.
Chris Ayer, Celtic defender for Norway. I don't know if you saw this. Potential opponent for Scotland, by the way, in the playoff round. They drew with Spain, and I think he got loads of good tweets.
Absolutely. Matt Greer watching Norway-Spain. Scotland could do with a striker like Josh King and a centre-half like Chris Ayer. I would not fancy us against this side in the playoffs. You mentioned it, Darrell, potential opponents. I kind of feel like a lot of Scotland fans, I don't know if I'm, if you guys would agree, feel like the playoffs will be a lot more straightforward. But Norway, and you look at potentially Serbia, I think Bulgaria is another one. It's not going to be easy.
That's what I mean about us thinking, playoffs easy, realistic chance of qualification. As a chance, but I mean the teams we're coming up against and the players we're coming up against are collectively quite often better than us, so it's going to be tough.
And they are sides that are building quite clearly, like Norway. And
Chris Ayer, I mean, top player now. Every week for Celtic, he's shown what a top centre half he is. Can play in a number of positions, and I think a lot of the players there and a few of the guys I've spoke to suggest that he's obviously going to be the next big transfer.
Yeah.
Fee
Go on, give us a price.
For him, I mean, I think you're looking at 15 to 20 million in a couple of years' time. Maybe he stays for another couple of years, develops more European
He was
football.
linked with Leicester already, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers right away.
You look at the prices some of these teams in England are paying, you can't say he's far away from that.
As for Edouard, talking of price tags, I think it's going to continue to rise because of what he's doing for the French under-21s. 2 more goals.
Absolutely. Friend of the show, of course, Chris Sutton.
Though loosely speaking.
Best striker in Scotland, he's calling him here, and his column. And he also mentioned that Odsonne Edouard's hot property can't be sold in January at any price. He even says, even if a bid for 50 million comes in. Don't know what you guys think.
Peter Lobel, I think, would find that one a hard one to turn down, Michael. What are you having?
No, but you can understand what Chris is saying, because because the competition is so fierce with regards to the Premiership.
There'd be outrage.
Aye, and also because I've not read the article, but I would imagine he'd go on to talk about the fact that Celtic have got so much money already in the bank that, in January, even if you were to get 50 million, what's the cost benefit to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can understand what he's saying.
Anyway,
there's no doubt he's a top player though.
6 goals in 3 games for the under-21s. They play again this week as well. I think it's tomorrow. And Joe Aribo, the Rangers player who's been out, obviously that head knock at Livingston recently, but playing for Nigeria and going well.
Danced through the Brazil defence. Don't know if you guys have seen it.
Great goal.
Between Marquinhos and Thiago Silva, that they weren't there. Personal favourite tweet from 4 Lads Had a Dream. Aribo scoring against Brazil. Lee Boyer, question mark. Kind of rams home the point.
Well, his name came up a lot, didn't it, as soon as that goal went in, because he obviously said it was the wrong move for him, as you clearly
He's
know.
always going to get mentioned. Anything good Aribo does now in his career is going to be followed quite closely by Lee Boyer.
He's going to get back in the Rangers team right now.
Well, it's not going to be easy, because obviously Rangers are going great guns and they've got a good balance in that area of the park. But yeah, I mean, look, there's no doubt that he's been a good addition to the Rangers squad.
A massive moment in his career too.
Oh, huge! I mean, go and score against Brazil, massive.
I definitely think as well, he is week by week almost justifying. He got the call up for Nigeria, it started scoring against Brazil. I definitely think Lee Boyer's looking a wee bit silly now. Sorry if you're watching, Lee.
Well, yeah, sure he is. Before we sign off in the international break, we have to touch on the rugby, don't we? I mean, I know you guys were all watching, you certainly were. I saw you tweeting about it. Michael, it was an epic game. Massive disappointment after all the effort to get it on.
Yeah.
Great,
Disappointed.
Great knowledge.
That's all you've got.
No, well, I mean, almost at the stage now where it was quite ridiculous that the rugby managed to get on, and then it was the football that almost gets cut off with the natural weather.
That would have been.
But it was. I mean, look, it was a great game. The Japanese were fantastic. I just feel like it's another missed opportunity for Scotland.
Exactly, and as you rightly say, there'll be a lot of people now supporting Japan.
Yeah, I was just talking for myself. I didn't know about anyone else, but
well, I think there's a groundswell.
Well, there will be, because do you know what? In all seriousness, they were brilliant to watch.
They were.
Scotland were really top draw in the second half as well, but the Japanese, it was all out relentless attack and defence, and yeah, they will be.
Who's your favourite player for Japan? Now that you're supporting them?
Nakamura was playing.
He can do everything.
Well, the genuine Japanese Michael Leach, the captain, he's a top player.
Scotland always did it.
Listen, when Gladiator says it's a good game, Russell Crowe's in with it. It's got to be a good watch.
But they will be an outside shout to. I don't know whether I don't know how the betting works, but you probably get something on them to get to the later stages.
I know a man who's got a few
well,
lines
there you
in
go.
the betting.
Even get to the final, because South Africa in the next round for them.
Go on, Daniel.
So, as Michael says, South Africa in the quarterfinals, 33-1 for Japan to win it. I don't know
about winning it, but if you could get a bet on to get them,
you never know. Also, obviously England.
They play in South Africa.
England, they're playing South Africa in the quarterfinals. Yeah. England have got Australia.
What are they called, Darrell?
Springboks.
Oh,
come on. It's like we planned that. I genuinely didn't.
For the wee, you could see the fear in Darrell's eye there.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I got it.
England 4-1 to win it. Wales 6-1. Ireland 16-1.
Who's playing New Zealand?
Ireland.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
That's who we would have played.
That's
who we would have played if we got to the quarters. So
there you go.
We've never beaten All Blacks.
It's only the second time in Scotland's history we've went out before the quarter-final stage. So it's not
Given the first answer you gave me, you've actually added something to that conversation, which is great.
That was just pure disappointment, that first answer.
No, I felt it as well yesterday. Touring cars, to touch on as well, friend of the show, a genuine friend of the show, Rory Butcher, who of course was in with us a few weeks ago, and the season has come to an end, but he was 5th overall in the Drivers' Championship. His team was 3rd overall, so he's had a great season.
And he's celebrating here, I think, the BTC Independence Drivers' Champion Award or trophy. I don't know how you... Listen, my touring car expertise could be better here, but we always look out for Rory, don't we?
We
As you
do.
say, friend of the show.
Top guy. He took us round the track, me and Alex, blindfolded, but it was quite difficult. But I mean,
Alex did say he had the better of it.
I just want to make sure it was you and Alex that was blindfolded, not him.
No, he was quite bravely in the passenger seat. But what a guy! What a talent he is!
I don't think, mate. That's a different sport.
I know.
You're talking about.
Anyway, moving on.
And the one other match that was taking place this weekend at Ibrox was the Legends game, Rangers against Liverpool. A lot of Rangers fans I could see getting excited because their manager was in blue.
The manager was in blue, a nice, obviously a kind of rare sight for Rangers fans to kind of take in. Steven Gerrard, it was a nice touch obviously with my connection here. Now at Rangers, I'm very proud to be the manager, and I think it's only right for them to see me in a blue shirt. Obviously Liverpool Legends though 1-3-2. He's never been on the show actually, Chris Boyd, but Chris Boyd missed the penalty at the weekend.
I saw it.
It was a poor effort.
Missed the target.
He found it quite funny though.
Remarkable.
He did. And Alex Rae, who's with us just about every other week, he was getting loads of plaudits.
Alex Rae just turned, I think, was it 65 he turned? Or?
I think it was 65, yeah. 65.
Sorry, no.
He's back next week, whether you're in trouble.
Obviously, great seeing Stevie G in a Rangers shirt today, but special mention to Alex Rae, half a century and still able to do 90 minutes. That's Colin Armstrong on Twitter. And I think for him, you played a game on Sunday as well.
He played a game yesterday as well. So, I mean, unbelievable.
Fit as a fiddle.
Fit as a fiddle.
He seems to be. But loads of people turned out for a good cause as well for that game. Good to see.
Very much so, yeah.
Should say as well, Steven Gerrard's performance too. In Middle of the Park, a couple of Liverpool fans tweeting, can we have him back in there? And it's
he looks fit enough to play.
He absolutely does, and obviously I don't know if people have seen the video. He had a wee cameo with his son Leo down the Copen Road. So
He did. I'm
good
going
day for Rangers fans.
I'm going to try and sign in here because I'm hoping I've got Alex Rae on FaceTime if I can load him up.
If you can load them up.
Alex! Wait a minute. The show is actually on. I don't know. I thought you were in the toilet for a moment there.
No.
Right.
Just in a mansion.
Is that the acreage out the back again you're showing off?
No, I'll just let a wee bit of natural light.
Okay, good. Well, listen, we've just been talking about a few things, including Scotland, which I won't ask you about, but we were going to talk about your own performance in the Legends match. Getting a bit of praise.
Yeah. Yes, well, it's definitely due, that's for sure. No, it was great. It was great, Darrell. It was when you've got a host of players of that kind of quality on show. About 35,000. You're trying to do yourself a wee bit of justice, but I have to say the price I've paid over the last couple of days, my body's on fire.
Mark was just saying to us that you were playing the fives. Was it off the back of it, Mark?
No, it was 11 aside. He was playing yesterday. Alex, how's it going? I was saying to the guys there, mid-game you stopped and tied your lace. That's how much you strolled the game yesterday as well. That actually got brought up from Frank McGarvey in the half-time team talk. Alex Rae's tying his lace. We're playing that bad. He's getting away with it.
Did Frank say if that happens again, half him in two?
He did. That's what he said.
Anyway, it looked good. It looked like it was a really good day as well.
It was such a canter yesterday, Mark.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
That match.
I wasn't trying.
Several games just become a bit easier, but I have to say Saturday was such a totally different game when you've got guys like Patrick Berger, Steven Gerrard, Luis Garcia, the boy Kite, man, he was on fire. But I think overall the day was brilliant. You know, I think everybody coming out to support Oriel boys and both foundations was brilliant.
Good. And while we've got you, it's not just to talk to you about that game and your own performance. Massive game at the weekend. We're about to talk about our game of the week, which is Tynecastle on Sunday, as you know, Hearts Rangers. Looking forward to that. Expecting a result, are you, for Rangers?
Yeah, listen, I think it'll be a difficult game. I think historically going to Tynecastle is always very difficult due to the fact the pitch is right in, the punters are right on top of the pitch. So you have that factor to deal with. Obviously it's well documented that Hearts have had a very difficult start to the season. Big Craig will be looking to try and better at what they're doing. But Rangers had a really good kind of results against them. 4 games last year. where they did very well, scored a lot of goals. So I think, they'll be able to try and do the same. But it's how they react coming back from all these international games.
You're taking this natural light to another level. It's like you're in heaven, Well, it's more than a halo for the first time in your life. I think I'd maybe point the phone the other direction. There you go, we can see you again. You're lovely, back in the room. And just before you go, Ross Wilson, appointed Rangers sporting director. I don't know how much you've read about it or know about him so far, but do you like the appointment?
Who's that, Ross Wilson?
Yes.
Guys? Yeah, no, listen, I think it's a really good appointment. I think it's a guy I've watched since his Falkirk days. He obviously developed a lot of kids, went down to Swansea and so forth. Headhunted by Huddersfield, done a really good job there. You look at the work they've done. They were a middle of the road championship team who managed to get up into the Premiership and then obviously went to Southampton. So he's been about the block. He's still young. He's still got a lot of good ideas, and I think it's a good appointment for Rangers going forward.
Good stuff. Listen, I'll let you go and we shall probably see you next week.
Yeah, I'll look forward to it, guys.
Good man. Speak to you soon. Thanks, Alex. We should move on to Ross Wilson then, because loads of social media activity confirmed. Do you think it's a good appointment, first of all? Come to you, Mark, on this for Rangers, the reputation he's got?
Yeah, I do. I think, first and foremost, it takes a lot of pressure off Steven Gerrard as a manager. I think these kind of director of football, sporting director, whatever, there's so many titles now that you can call them.
Sporting director in this case.
But it just takes the pressure off in terms of signing players. You've got a big job to do, because come January, if it's still neck and neck in the title race, I think January will be a big window and that'll be his first test. But I think Steven Gerrard will prefer that, having someone above him to take that side and let him concentrate on the coaching aspect of things.
You'd imagine he must have been given some guarantees that there's money to spend, work to be done in terms of transfers, if he's come away from a Premier League club.
Yeah, we'd have thought so. Aye, definitely. Although, the looks at some of the tweets here, it's perhaps the relationship at Southampton with some of the supporters was getting to a stage where he was looking to get out of there. And I think, to go to Rangers at this moment, he'll view that, obviously he'd been linked before. I think now, he's probably looking at it and seeing what could be coming to fruition. A good time for him to go in if he believes that he can add something to it. But yeah, to go back to your question, I would imagine he's got to have been given some sort of guarantees of being able to do some work. And he'll Willow's talking about Gerrard being quite happy to allow him to get on with it. You can see that they will have to work well together because Gerrard's got unbelievable, contacts in the game, and to be able to get the two of them to work closely together, it could be a good appointment.
You make a good point, though. I mean, look, Rangers fans are delighted in social media, but from down south, it's mixed.
I mean, Up the Saints, Matt, who's a big sort of Southampton account on Twitter, leaving us with the worst transfer mess in recent decades, if not ever. It's a pretty damn tweet.
I'm not sure about if not ever. When you think about where Southampton were,
I was just going to come to that. In his first 3 seasons, they finished 7th, 6th and 8th.
And he signed players like Van Dijk
so
on his watch.
We list Van Dijk, Højbjerg, Suarez, the Portugal right back, Nathan Redmond, Romeo, Lamina. I also believe he was instrumental in bringing in the current manager Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Yeah, you know him quite well actually. Yeah,
he's been on. Came on the Talking Boys podcast with us twice actually. Really nice guy. Really sort of, you can tell he's quite, I don't know if intense is the right word, but he's got a great knowledge of kind of European leagues and stuff. And I just think that the kind of bad reaction from Southampton is quite opportunistic. Finished, I think, 16th last season. Not a great season. Not great this season.
You think they're angry?
Aye, of course. And of course, I understand why. But if you look back to his first 3 full seasons, come back to that 7th, 6th and 8th, it's pretty impressive.
The test for him at Rangers now is obviously dealing with a totally different budget, totally different wage structure. So, I mean, the signings he makes for Southampton over those first 3 seasons, I mean, you're talking a different world who he's going to be targeting for Rangers, not just in terms of transfer, but in terms of what these guys are getting offered per week. So that's going to be a big ask for him, but like you say, he's probably got a great knowledge of the younger players in Europe, and that's probably where he'll go in, and look at that kind of market rather than established players. Yeah,
and look, a lot of fans obviously were saying mixed opinion, but former players like Charlie Adam are saying it's a great appointment.
Yep, Charlie Adam, very good appointment from Rangers, bringing Ross Wilson out of the club. This is just a Rangers fan, I think. Darrell, happy with Ross Wilson. Decent track record of Southampton, and testament to our board that we are now in a state where we can attract personnel.
I think that's a safe bet to say that's a fan. Yeah.
DMCM 42486.
I didn't recognise Derek too well.
I don't know that guy.
My eyes have let me down again.
Get that petition on. Anyway, let's move on to game of the week that we're calling game of the week, if you like, which is Sunday. You heard Alex Rae just mention it there on the FaceTime call. Look, it's another massive game for Hearts.
He said Hearts have not been on a great run. I was surprised at that. You know,
I did glance at you at that moment.
I thought everyone was all right. You know, I mean, look, it's a huge game.
What's the atmosphere going to be like there at the weekend, do you think, ahead of it?
It'll be an intense game. You know, it's probably it's a double-edged sword. You know, if Hearts manage to get a result, then it's another one of those like the derby, where it takes a bit of pressure off. But it's got the potential for being a very difficult game for Hearts, because Rangers are in great form. You know, and Alex spoke about it there, about the results they had last year. And I think the game at Tynecastle, the first one, they went and it was their first real, because they had, you know, remember the start of last season, their away form wasn't great. The game at Tynecastle, where they picked up 3 points, was their first real sort of positive result against a top side, and they've got to, you know, look to do that again on Sunday. And I would say that Rangers are the favourites for it, because, you know, it's difficult times for Hearts.
Can you see it happening again, that kind of result?
Listen, in terms of, I think Rangers are too strong just now. I think Hearts would be happy with a draw in this one. You know, just the way their form's been, years gone by, you would probably think Hearts. You know, it's always hard going to Tynecastle, and Hearts always put up a good show, but I think Craig Levein would be delighted with a draw, especially the way Rangers are playing.
Maybe some players coming back from injury, getting a wee bit closer as well.
Yeah, maybe. But for Rangers, a big test for Rangers as well, because you look at the fixtures Celtic have had away from home, you know, away to Ibrox and Livy and Easter Road. Rangers not really had a test away from home, and this, I know they went to Killie, but this is their first big one. If they go there and put on a performance like they have done against Hamilton and things like that, then it's a big statement. It's a big statement.
They've had it easy so far, Rangers.
To be fair,
it's been a walk in the park for them this first quarter.
Decent start going into this. Rangers haven't played any of the current top six. I know Hearts are bottom six, but any of the current top six away from home yet.
Yeah,
so,
and I know what you're saying about Hearts, but away to Tynecastle, it usually has the look of a top six game, so I'll be a
they're
big
lucky
test.
they're playing Hearts. So they're lucky.
Jammy season Rangers are having by.
There's a few big games this weekend, I should say, as well. I'm hopefully about to talk to you about Kilmarnock against Livingston, because Chris Burke is on the show. Good to see you, Chris. How are you?
Hi guys. Hi gents, you okay?
We're all well. There's a studio around us. A few familiar faces for you. Give us a little insight then. International break for you. Do you get a bit of time to enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, there was a poor connection.
We can hear you well.
No, I did. Is it my connection maybe?
I think he's fine on this side.
All right, okay then. No, I got to go to London there just for a few days with the wife, so yeah, it was nice. But now we're back at it, training today, and looking forward to the Livingston match this weekend.
Travelling first class on the trains.
The boys have noticed first class travel, and also, what are these photos? What's going on here? Your missus must be fuming.
All right, yeah, the Sleeping Beauty one.
And it's not just the one.
No, I'm sure she'll get me back sooner or later. You know, that's just a little joke with me and the wife. You know, there's no point in putting all these filters on each other and stuff like that. This is real life, guys. This is real life stuff, isn't it?
There'll be a lot of people out there who appreciate that, let me tell you. Look, we've already talked about Scotland in the show. You must be delighted. Stuart Findlay on his debut getting his goal.
Yeah, fantastic. Credit to him. Ever since he stepped into the club, I mean, I've been working with him. He's been excellent. Had a great few seasons now, and looking to progress in his career. And I think that's a great step for him. And what a way to mark off your debut with a goal and an assist and a home cap is excellent. And hopefully he can continue that form for us as well when he comes back, because he's actually off today. Manager must have gave him the time off, him and Stephen O'Donnell, so they must be back in tomorrow or so.
That's not bad. He was able to get his header on target as well, Burke.
I know, and I noticed that I was getting a little bit of stick. I'm fortunate enough to get that goal, but I think I had to force my hand a little bit to get off the mark in the league, Michael, so I'm delighted with myself getting off there.
It was going wide!
It was a few dubious decisions. Can
you believe he's tried to take that away from you, by the way, a winning goal?
I can't believe, Michael. You've probably been in that position before, maybe when you were a bit younger, no?
I didn't hit the ball.
No, he wouldn't have been in that position in the box.
No. Back in the day.
Anyway, look, things are going well at the club level at the moment. I mean, first of all, the defensive side of things, get 7 clean sheets in the last 8 games, whatever the Italian manager is doing. He's forming a sort of Italian backline, if you like.
Yeah, no, the boys have been great in defence, but obviously collectively as a group, we're solid. I think it's been a continuation of what we've done the past couple of seasons, not just this season. A great run of form from having clean sheets from the goalkeeper to the striker. It's been great, and we're always a difficult team to beat. That's one thing that we've proven over the seasons, and we want to maintain that. Just obviously the other end, we're a little bit short just now in scoring goals, but if we can keep the back door shut, then you've always got a chance of winning football matches or getting results, and that's what's happened over the course of last month or so.
Well, your goal last time, if it was your goal, was a big one, of course, and it gets you 3 points. I think Michael had a question for you, actually.
You were just saying, obviously, a few of the lads are off today. Is it too early in the week to get the squad list up?
Oh, yeah.
Where are you going with
that
this?
was actually probably my fault. To be honest, no, nothing to do with the coaches or what have you.
You're going to have to explain this because none of us have got a clue what's going on here. What's happened?
No, I didn't look at the sheet, and obviously because I had just started training again because I had a groin injury, so obviously the squad list went up, and I've went away and had a nice meal with my wife obviously the night before, and then obviously I get the phone call in the morning to telling me that I was in the squad. So
you've gone out the night before thinking you were out the squad?
Just as well, I'm a professional guy, you know. It was just dinner.
I was going to say.
But funny enough, I never obviously got on that game. It was when we played Celtic, so
right.
I couldn't help it. The lads, maybe obviously because of what happened.
Too hungover. Take it on. Too hungover, Burke. Take it on.
No damage done, it seems. Anyway, next couple of games huge for you because they're both at home, aren't they? Is it Livingston, St Mirren? Next chance, obviously, to get a few points. And I was looking at the league table this morning. I mean, you know, a couple of wins and you're up to what, third or fourth easily. The way that table is, it's so tight.
Yeah, I think this season it is. The league's a bit funny. This season, obviously, Celtic and Rangers look as if they're the ones that are running away with it a little bit. Motherwell are doing ever so well, but the rest of the pack is very tight. I think you're saying that we're a couple of wins away from climbing, but obviously if we don't get the results, we could drop down as well.
I was trying to go with the positive side of it for you.
Yes, I know, but you have to be realistic. So as we are as a group, I think we've showed that over the seasons. But you're right in saying that. I think the Hearts result there was a great result for us because it kept us in contention, because Livingston, you know, overtook us with a fantastic result against Celtic. But it's one that we're looking at home fixtures that we're looking to get 3 points. We're disappointed we didn't get the 3 against Ross County, and we had to make up for that at Tynecastle, and we did so. So we looked at Livingston, who'll be a tough test because they've started well again and will go on the back of a victory against Celtic. So I think this league's very competitive again. That's the main thing, which is good.
And just
teams are, I've noticed this season, are getting a lot of away wins as well, or getting away results. So it's one that both teams will be looking to get the 3 points, I'm sure.
Yeah, tough games to call this season, definitely. Hey, listen, thank you very much for taking the time to chat to us today. All the best at the weekend against Livy.
Oh, thank you, no problem.
Cheers.
James. It was nice speaking to you all.
Cheers, Chris. See you later.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Bye.
Should we have a look at the rest of the games then this weekend?
Absolutely.
We've got a few to come through actually as well, including Celtic, of course. They've dropped 5 points the last couple of matches. Home against Ross County, you'd surely expect the 3 points there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think there'll be a reaction from the last game. Always bad when you go away in international break and you have such a disappointing result, but there's no doubt at home against Ross County, I think that'll be a very long afternoon for Ross County, especially with the form some of these Celtic guys have shown, even when they went away international duty. I'm
going to ask you to pick us a few winners in a moment, but Alan Stubbs was with us last week, and we've actually looked into this because he's named 3 different teams, hasn't he?
You know, I love good value.
You do?
Darrell, do you know what I mean? And Alan Stubbs last week, I think watching it back, I just thought, screams good value.
Let's have a listen. Anyone doing their coupon then? Come on, give us 3 winners there for them. You were good last time out.
I was actually, yeah.
Did you get that?
I give good value.
I think he nailed them. He did.
Good value.
He nailed them. Good value he gave everyone.
I'd have to go. Well, I'd have to carry on Motherwell's home form. I would go for Motherwell, which I think there might be decent value.
That's a great shout. Great shout.
I would go Kilmarnock at home, and for fantastic value, I'm going to be in trouble for saying this, but I might have to go Hamilton to beat Hibs.
Well, at home. There you go, and there'll be a lot of Hibs fans falling out with you right now.
I know, but I'm talking about value.
Yeah.
I'm only going for value because I think Hamilton will be a good price.
Well, if you fancy that.
A man after my own heart. I would think, so it's 3 home games as well, 3 home fixtures. I would think a 10 on that, you think 50, 60 quid's fair enough. I'm not giving you 50 or 60 quid, Darrell. Not even 100. £173 and 6 pence back from a tenner.
That seems
tenner.
pretty decent.
3 home fixtures.
So you went Hamilton.
So Hamilton, Kelly and Motherwell. 3 home wins.
We can all get on that. Please don't you get on it, you'll get sacked.
No, stay away. I don't gamble.
No, would you like to pick some winners
Use
first?
your wee burner account.
Instead, let's not even joke about that.
Let's edit that out, will we?
He doesn't have one. I can promise you. I can
no,
absolutely promise you.
I'm under serious
Anyway,
scrutiny now.
can you pick us some winners, please?
I would go for Motherwell as a.
Right, you're in with Stubbsy.
I didn't even know.
Stubbsy
what the odds
special.
are. I didn't understand odds. I just understand a little bit of football sometimes. Motherwell,
Good value.
good value, good. Livingston away
Ooh,
and
interesting.
Hibs away.
There you go. I think that would return a bit as well. I'll tell you, we can tell you next week what the return would have been. If you're right, we'll get you on the phone.
All right.
If you're wrong, we'll probably won't invite you back.
We'll get you the money, but we'll get you on the phone.
Good.
Right, let's move on. Fantasy football.
So we're 8 games in the Premiership season. These are the best 3 performing goalkeepers so far. So no surprise to see Al McGregor, but Branescu, obviously 7 out of the last 8 clean sheets in all competitions for Kelly. And Mark Gillespie as well, Motherwell, having a great season
So
too.
12 million Branescu, that would do.
Exactly.
He could fit in.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
I've seen him a few times live now, and I've been impressed with
I
him.
hope you're taking tips because you are having a fantasy football nightmare, by the way.
Well, yeah, I need to get on top of it. Yeah, I've not made any changes, so there's a few will need to be made.
A lot of people go for the Old Firm goalies, but I think Branescu at 12 million.
Yeah.
A good shout. Defenders, now, no surprise perhaps see James Tavernier there, Connor Goldson, Declan Gallagher having a great season. But I think you mentioned, Darrell, you pointed out to me that the top 2 scoring players overall
The whole game, yeah.
is Tavernier and Goldson, which, you know, might surprise some people.
Well, Tavernier gets at least an assist or a penalty every week, doesn't he? Almost. So, I mean, that's a banker. I think I've got.
What
him
are you
on my team.
suggesting?
He's
about
They've
penalties?
had an easy start to the season, no tougher wee games. So captain gets penalties. And that's,
Wow.
Says ex
And he's-
Celtic Mark.
is he in your team?
I know. It's not a shock, is it?
He's probably not.
I think I actually do have him. It shows you how bad the rest of them are doing.
Midfielders.
Midfielders, so an all Celtic, a Celtic treble. Ryan Christie, who obviously will be suspended, we might come to that a bit later
Well.
on. James Forrest and Callum McGregor. No surprise really to see Celtic dominating that.
Christie still 164 despite the red card. You
Yep.
lose points for that.
That's basically a game he lost straight away, went into minus points. And the strikers, again, there'll be no surprise for the top 3 strikers. Jermaine Defoe, Odsonne Edouard and Alfredo
Well, a bit
Morelos.
surprised Defoe though is on top, given the fact that he's not started that many games,
true.
and they do rotate quite a lot.
He's 9 goals and
Was
7
it 2
Premiership
hat
goals.
tricks?
Yeah,
2 hat
hat trick last time. I think.
Aye.
9 and
Incredible.
7, yeah. So that's the top performing players in each category.
Mark Wilson's team is doing pretty well, I have to say.
Mark Wilson, there we go.
Listen, I've had a bit of a nightmare the last couple of weeks. As soon as I took up that breaking post, seeing that I managed 2 teams at the one time.
It's hard to juggle.
Michael, it's a nightmare. But this is the team I've picked going forward. A bit of an error there that we only just discovered.
There's time to change.
Yep,
Time
plenty
to
of
change.
time, plenty of time.
I'm
Ryan
glad we
Christie.
changed it. Ryan Christie, outstanding this season, but I've put him in there forgetting he's suspended. I think he's also my captain, so
Right, well, he's
I'll need to
definitely.
change. I'll need to change good management.
You can change that.
You can see why the Brecon fans love me already. So I
At least you're
big
telling them
Monday,
on Monday.
but I know Big Dykes in there obviously for his performance against Celtic.
So he's
Hopefully
one
he can-
substitution coming in, Lyndon Dykes.
Yeah, he can replicate that against Kelly.
Who's been binned?
Big Ick Piazza up front.
Alex Rae did warn you off him early doors.
He did. Alex hates him, didn't he?
Ick
Doesn't
P-
like it.
Ick-
He's
not a
very
fan.
tall.
He said not to have him. So
Aye, but well, he scored in the derby, didn't he? Got me some points in that.
that was a good week.
But he's out this week. Dykes is in.
And we should, I know Darrell, this is Darrell.
I don't want you to do
He
it again.
slips this in every week.
I didn't,
Oh,
I didn't,
well,
I didn't even want him to do this again. It's getting embarrassing.
yeah.
That was a down week, by the way.
That was a bad week. But I think it's only fair to say, out of over 30,000 players, what are you, Darrell, 56th?
Just outside the top 50.
That's good going.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Look at
And
how
they're running.
sluggy
Look at
I am.
Listen,
Look
I
at
wasn't
how
even
sluggy
going to
it is.
mention it. There's people thinking the sort of Ladbrokes are rigging this to try and get me the money, which is not true. But I will make a couple of changes at the weekend. I'll probably put a Celtic defender in or maybe Forster in goal as well because they're home to Ross County. And Odsonne Edouard definitely going to be in as my captain, I think, this weekend. So, although the tip is wait till 2 o'clock on Saturday. You can't do this, I understand
No,
that,
I
but
know.
wait till 2 o'clock on Saturday because you get all the team news coming through and you can still change all your players until the 3
nice.
o'clock
All
kickoff.
the tricks he
And I
knows.
think there's 5 games at 3 o'clock this weekend, so you can
okay.
do that, Michael.
Yeah.
And that's why, Michael, you don't know that you are way down on that celeb league.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd pick an appropriate name for my team.
Yeah. It's very appropriate.
Yes,
Just Chris Sutton holding you up there. That's good.
that's good. Yeah. He's picked an appropriate name for his as well.
Nothing wrong with farmers.
No.
Right, we're almost out of time here, but we've got 1-2 free bet this week.
Yep, so this is exclusive to the app. So we've done it before, 3 games, 3 correct scores, £100 cash prize. But if you get 1 correct score, you get a £1 free bet. 2 correct scores, £5 free bet. Enter by 5:30 on Saturday and some spicy games down south. Man United, Liverpool, didn't even realise that was this weekend.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, Man City, and Southampton and Arsenal.
That's definitely Sheffield United, isn't it?
It's Sheffield United.
There you go,
Well done,
Sheffield
Darrell.
United. Go on,
That's why he's here.
give me 3 scores.
3 scores.
Yeah, give me 3 correct scores. Take part.
3-0.
Man City.
3-0.
2.
Man United.
2-1.
So you've gone 3-0 Man City, I assume.
Yes,
3-0
3-0
Liverpool.
And 2-1 Sheffield United.
2-1 Sheffield United, who are going well at home as well. Ran Liverpool close a couple of weeks ago. All right, anyway, you can get involved again. Hashtag Ladbrokes Social Club.
Absolutely, and we're at Lads PFF if you want to get involved in the Premiership Fantasy Football. Hashtag Ladbrokes Social Club. Hashtag Save Our Managers still out there as well if you want to get involved
Is
in that.
you're not getting a lot of interest in
Not a lot of traction yet, Darrell, but as the season goes on, I feel that we'll get some.
Good. And all the best to you.
Cheers.
Scottish
Thanks.
Cup next up.
Scottish
Annan.
Cup.
Yeah.
Annan. Big one.
Can't believe that's not on the telly.
I know, I
Unbelievable.
can't believe it.
Disgraceful.
Just picking this
All the best
schedule.
anyway for
Cheers.
that, Michael. Thank you very much, Daniel, as well. We shall see you again next Monday. Bye for now.